Hello, YouTube. Sorry it's been a little long time. Hold on. Sorry about that. Anyway, I want to issue an apology for my last review over Ghost of Tsushima. I didn't focus too much on gameplay and story too much, so I'm going to redeem myself as I should. So, I actually don't know what I'm going to start off with first. Let's first start off with the combat. The combat is very much like Assassin's Creed, like... Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my ninja sweatshirt. Pretty cool. Anyway, so the combat is much like Assassin's Creed or like Shadow of Mordor. It's very focused on triangle and square. And it's very much focused on like parries and other stuff, like parries, blocks. And so there are multiple ways you can enter combat. You can do it like the Ghost way, which is sneaking around, assassinating people, weakening the numbers, reliant on bow and arrow to shoot at things. Or what you can do is you can, do a standoff. And I explained this in my last video where you basically yell at the enemy to fight you, and the enemy will fight. The enemy will send... It's usually supposed to be the best, but it's not. Sometimes they'll send an archer, sometimes they'll send in the freaking grenade guy, or sometimes you'll get the leader of the base, which means an easy killing of the leader. Because during a standoff, you just have to hold the triangle button, and then you release it, and you have to release it at a time when he is charging you. And and if you kind of wait a bit longer on that, like if you swing, because sometimes they'll later on they'll start feinting you, and they'll doing false attacks, so you'll let go of the triangle button, and you lose all of your health. So standoffs are a little bit risky if you are not known for holding the button too long. But then you also got situations where, and then you can also, so there's and there's many other ways you can do it. You can go there doing both, but you have to realize that the enemy can't come after you. If you want to do a standoff, you have to be it's hard to explain, but basically you can't be hidden from the enemy. You have to be that way. So I explained in my last video that you get armor through quest lines. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, there are certain armors you get from missions. There is no item shop, much like, how in Skyrim you can buy armor from the shop. Well, in Ghost of Tsushima, you really need to broaden it. You really need to do these quests. Now, every armor has different appearances depending on how you level it up. And in order to level up, this is when the currency system comes in, which is supplies. Supplies are you need supplies and other things like iron, steel, and other things to make the game work better. To make the armor work better. Sometimes it'll be it'll say it's a major increase to health, but if you level it up to the next level, it may increase to a 90% health. Or there's one armor that increases your standoff capability, where you can and if you play your cards right, you can. I said this in my last video. You can stand off 5 different people, and so different armors fit with different play styles. The armor of Goshika is mainly focused on staggering. The second family armor is based on standoffs. The Ghost is, ninjas and whatever. Ninjas and like stealthy stuff, which I'm not a big fan of. And then now you also have your missile weapons, which will be the bow and arrows, poison you can use. You can also use fire bombs. You can like throw grenades. You can use kunais. There's many ways you can. The gameplay is very good. There's many different ways of playing through the missions. Now, you also have to take, and there's also ways you can increase your abilities. One of the things that I said was a problem, and I mentioned it very quickly. So shout out if you know like what I meant. But your health is not. You don't have like health potions. Like you can't just grab a bottle of red Gatorade and just do this when you're, you get like, hold on. Ow. That freaking Mongoloid. Hold on, Mongol. Let me drink my health potion. It feels really good. That actually hurt, to be honest. I don't know why I did that. Holy shit, that actually hurt. Anyway, that actually hurt. So you have resolve, and resolve is basically different circles. Like these are things that fill up if you do parries, or if you do, like, if you kill enemies. It fills up. It also fills up if you kill enemies when they're heavily wounded, also known as ending their suffering. So you have that. You have so instead of like in Skyrim, which again, health potions, you have the resolve, which means you can't pause the game when you're healing. It's much like Dark Souls. Also, there's a really cool ability where also be careful if you die, because the enemies will start kicking your dead body and will slit your throat. Yes. In most games, enemies don't do that, but in this game, the Mongols are Mongols. They'll fiddle around with your dead corpse if they want. So the gameplay, basically, and there's different stances, like, kind of like how Niha did it, where you have, like, the standard stance, like the samurai fighting. That's good on swordsmen. You have the moon stance, which is basically good for brutes, which you will fight brutes, which again, I call them fat boys. But I'm not trying to mention Richard in this video. You also have the wind stance, which is meant for anti-shield. If I get any of these wrong, don't point it out to me, please, because I haven't played the game in a couple of days, and I may have forgotten what the stances are called. And then you have, I think it's the mountain stance was the one that was meant for swords. Moon was meant for, brutes, and then water was used for spears, and then wind was used for shields. Now I remember. Alright, that's how it went. So there's different fighting techniques. Mind you, the enemies will know how to block eventually. Now, you're not just fighting Mongols. Eventually you'll start fighting bandits. Just bandits. Because Since all the samurai are dead, comes a bandit problem. And because this was before the reforming of the Japanese armies, which meant introducing foot soldiers, also known as Ashigaru, which in Japanese, Ashigaru means lightfoot, because they were known for not wearing shoes most of the fucking time. Yeah, so, you have, so essentially you have bandits fighting. They're super easy because they're only for the stage 1. So when you're fighting through, like, the first map, you'll occasionally fight the bandits. But then when you get around part 2, you'll fight the Straw Hats, aka fucking Ronins. Because apparently the Ronins have sold out Japan. Then again, they are essentially have no loyalty whatsoever. And the Mongolians reward submission. There are a whole bunch of dominatrices in that fucking Mongol bull, I tell you. Anyway, so you'll eventually fight the Straw Hats. They're much harder to deal with Mongolians under one condition. They are known for being annoying. Just like they just know how to. They just have way much undockable attacks. Now, when you attack people, there are different attacks you can parry. Like, you can only parry things that are in white or blue. White, it's like a light blue, whatever. And then for red ones, you immediately have to dodge them because otherwise you're getting fucked. Now, I've been talking a lot about the gameplay. Am I missing anything? Maybe I could talk about the story. I'm wondering if I forgot anything about... I don't want to make a third one of these. I enjoy making videos, but I want to move on. And I don't feel like I did the first one any justice, but then again, I don't do YouTube main time. So, maybe I should talk about... I don't want to talk about the story, because if I talk about the story, that's spoilers. And I think I've already given away part of it, talking about the fucking Straw Hats. But then again, it's not a surprise. Then again, the game's been out for almost... for a week now. So, I don't know. Let me know if you want to have a part 3 of this, which is me just talking about the story. This is just strictly gameplay, but if you want a part 3, I know Zach would probably want it, but if you want a part 3, just let me know. I'll make a part 3. And I most likely won't hit my head again with the radio. Anyway, this is me, Tomoko, signing out. I'll see you next time. Do I want to talk more? Like, I'm wondering what I'm missing. Like, I don't want to spoil it. And I feel like I let me know in the comments if you want a third one. I'll see you guys soon. Maybe I'll make... I was thinking about doing, some more interesting topics. Maybe history lectures. I don't know. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.